to academic achievement. So for example, if you show students, African American students, for example, in an environment where they're being successful in something like math, then at some point that will lead to them feeling like they can do well in math and then doing well in math. Instead, what the market predominantly contains is images of 50 Cent bulletproof Grand Theft Auto. So this isn't in any way bashing those products, but it's saying we need to have more of other stuff also. Next slide. So this is, and I'm closing, this is why we can't wait. I get really passionate about, okay, we need to do something now. And being a professor, sometimes that's frustrating because, you write an article this year and it doesn't come out till 2 years later, and by then the technology has changed. But what I try and do, because I recognize that we cannot wait, and this, for me, the reason we can't wait is because of my children. You'll see on one side there's my kids in 2003, which is when my daughter was born, and then now at 2009, and they have grown up so much. And the reality is that they're going to keep growing. And we can sit around and twiddle our thumbs and say hum and, and kind of take our time, but what I want to do is look at how do we combine research, design, development, provide access to this stuff to larger audience, and to increase the tent or be more inclusive about the people who are designing and developing this stuff, which will lead to, I think, innovation. So why we can't wait is because the kids are going to keep growing. And they're going to keep going through schools, and we can't just sit back and say, okay, we'll get it one day. Let's wait till 2012, or let's wait till 2020 or 2040. No, we need to do it now, okay?
Yeah, when it get to about here, then you're in trouble.
I'm already, the little girl already has me in trouble, so I'm already there. So I want to stop there because I want to see if you have any questions. If you go to the next slide, it will give you my website, which contains a couple of things. One, it contains some diverse products that I don't endorse but are featured just because a lot of times people say, well, I didn't know that this existed. For example, there's a, can you scroll back a couple of slides? Right there, okay. Maybe you can't see it, but down in your left-hand corner, there's a picture of a football game, which is called the Black College Football Experience. Someone showed it to me. I didn't know it existed. It just was released on Xbox in November.
BCFX.
BCFX. And it is it's like Madden and NCAA football, but it's from a black college football perspective. And so if you've ever been to a black college football, you quickly understand that the football game is not the main event. What's the main event? The marching band. And so in this game, they have a halftime show, they have a marching band, which then allows you to participate in a drum line, almost like Guitar Hero or DJ Hero. And that game is a total departure from what you would normally see in Madden or NCAA football. Now, again, I'm not endorsing that game, but it gives us diversity. So now you have multiple representations of a football video game, and that's what we need to do. The more we can kind of broaden the tent and open it up, the better I think we'll be. So at this time, I'll stop because I know that we're trying to get back on schedule, and I'll see if we could take a couple of questions.
Let me just, go ahead.
I just wanted to ask, in the discussion this morning, there was mention made a large number of children who are going unreached and call upon to reach out to them.
Yes.
What, in your opinion, is needed to make that connection? Because one thing that I wonder about is that there's a whole stream of negative imagery that makes certain So I'm just wondering, how do you combat that? What do you need to do to reach those?
Well, that's a big question. What I'm doing now. Oh, I'm sorry. If I can paraphrase your question, his question was, what do you do to reach the students who are typically underserved? The big thing is relevancy and helping people figure out that what you're trying to teach them is relevant to not only their future but to their present. So for example, the work I do in Washington, D.C., it's in Northeast Washington, D.C., and so if you know anything about D.C., you know that's the not so good part of DC. And what we do is we go in every Saturday and we work with students on how to build educational games. Now, we didn't go in with some Pollyanna attitude and say, oh, well, if you build games, you'll be able to kind of get out of the ghetto type thing. What we did is we started with where they were, and we helped them figure out how they can use games to share what was going on in their community. We talked with their parents about how this particular skill could help their child not only in school but after school. But it's a long haul. I mean, you can't just build it and copy it and then hand it out. So I think part of the first step is relevance, helping communities understand how it's relevant. Because I think it's a misnomer that we assume that minority communities don't know anything about technology. Because when you look at cell phone penetration, you look at the number of game machines, you look at cable numbers, the inner city communities have those things. The reason they don't have high-speed connections and computers at the same rates is because they don't think it's relevant to where they are. So.
Thank you, Dr. Clark.
Thank you.
Wouldn't it be great if some government agencies funded centers like yourself and threw some money your way?
Yes,
That'd be nice?
yes.
All right. Maybe.
Thank you.